Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome to this match of the MBBC. This stands for Modern Budget Brew Challenge quarterfinals. This time it is going to be Dr. Odd piloting Infect against newcomer Control-Alt-Delete, who is playing a pretty sweet Kragenwick Creamator deck. Let me make sure all is good. All is good. Awesome. So this is going to be an interesting match. I'm really looking forward to this. So we have on one side of the board Infect. So obviously Infect, the whole goal of this is to count to 10. Infect is an ability that allows you, so whenever it deals combat damage to a player, instead of dealing actual damage, so life total, it'll just deal damage in the form of poison counters. And once you have 10 poison counters, you lose the game. On the other hand, we have Control-Alt-Delete, who's playing this really sweet deck that he has nicknamed Red-Green Kragenwick Creamator. So the whole point of this deck is to cast Kragenwick Creamator, which is a 4-mana 5/4 with trample. When it enters the battlefield, it may discard a card at random, and if it's a creature, it deals damage to target player equal to its power. So pretty sweet. Looks like a pretty strong draw here from Dr. Odd, who is going to be piloting the list by Comrade Gabe, who submitted this. This is all submitted through MTG Amino, by the way, and great app you should get on. And another thing that's really awesome is that all these decks are under 10 ticks. So you see, like, there are some powerful decks out there, like Infect, which is a tier modern deck. A lot of the pieces are commons, and they're really cheap, especially on Magic Online, so building an Infect deck isn't out of the realm of possibility. So it looks like a lot of birds on the Control-Alt-Delete side, so let's see what Odd could put together here. Maybe a combination of Scale Up and Might of Old Krosa on Blighted Agent for death. Let's see, does Control-Delete have anything for interaction? It's like he has 4 copies of Lightning Bolt. And that is it. Ooh. So not ideal for Control-Alt-Delete here. He needs a bolt. I'm going to X out of this chat here. So he needs a bolt in order to make sure that he doesn't die. Oh, or combat damage just happens. Awesome. That's really good news for Control-Alt-Delete here. That means that Dr. Odd is pretty light on his removal. Let's see if we might see a Kragenwick Creamator come down here. Also possibility to see something like Bloodbraid Elf, Crocodile the Crossing, Huntmaster of the Fells, Shirok the Hunt Caller. Let's see what he's got. It's like 3 green. Half a mana. So it does look like Kragenwick Creamator is going to be coming down here. Let's see what he discards. If he discards a creature, Odd can be taking a ton of damage here, up to 16 if he discards Worldspine Worm. Let's see. What does he discard? And the drum roll. Ooh, it's a whiff. That's pretty unfortunate for Control-Alt-Delete here. Kragenwick Creamator just discarding Eldritch Evolution. I think he really needed that to be some kind of non-creature spell, or some kind of creature in order to really pressure the life total of Odd, or else he's just going to run over this game with the Blighted Agent. As for pump spells in this Infect deck, they have 4 copies of Scale Up, 4 copies of Vines of the Vastwood, 2 Rancors, Groundswell, wow, and an aggressive 4 Blossoming Defense, but also something to notice, an aggressive 4 copies of Spell Pierce in the main deck, which are basically just dead cards in this matchup. So interesting to see this kind of draw. It looks like he kept a land creature draw, but like no real Infect cards. Kragenwick Creamator does not have trample. It is just a 5/4, so Glistener Elf might be hanging back on D here. No scale up for Odd or Mitable-Crosa. So this was the sweat turn for Control to lead here. So he was just dead. He was totally tapped out. Let's see what the draw is. Alright, it'll land. And are we going to see an Eldritch Evolution? Oh, it is. Interesting. You would think that he probably wanted to attack there with Kraken Creamator to try to take some damage. Oh, but Rurik Thar the Unbowed. Wow, that's huge. His Vigilance Reach attacks each combat available. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, it deals 6 damage to that player. Obviously, this card is very important in this matchup. Maybe he didn't want to risk something like a Groundswell or some combination of like Finds of the Vastwood to kill the Kraken Cremator. But he's taking 6 here. Mitable-Crosa making Blooded Agent a 5/5. That is still not enough. But does he have a follow-up? He does. He has Mutagenic Growth. That is going to be lethal. And I don't think Control Alt Delete can do anything here. I think that's just going to be game 1 here. Blooded Agent coming across. And that's exactly 10. Wow. Really, really awesome top deck for Dr. Odd there, being that, yeah, there it is. Being the Mitable-Crosa, allowing him to deal lethal poison that turn. See, if you receive 10 or more poison counters, you lose the game automatically. So the real difference with this deck, and I think why Dr. Odd is favored over Control Delete, is he's really counting the 10. You look at Control Delete's list, he's an aggro deck, he's trying to like do some cute stuff with Creamator, he's counting to 20. He's trying to do 20, they're trying to do 10, and Infect can do it way faster and more efficient than Pragma Creamator can. So going into sideboard of games, let's see, take a look at the Infect sideboard. 4 copies of Dispel, 4 copies of Nature's Claim, 3 copies of Piracy Charm, and 1 copy of Viridian Shaman. Oh man, I'm gonna have to take a look here. Alright, here we go. 1 Carrion Call, 1 Corrupted Resolve, 4 Dispel, 1 Distortion Strike, 4 Nature's Claim, 3 Piracy Charm, and 1 Viridian Corruptor. Interesting. So, Piracy Charms modes are target creature gains Island Walk, target creature gets +2/-1, or target player discards a card. Oh, it says he won the match. Interesting. Huh. Well, we might have to come back for a game 2 here. So, yep, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here. And we're going to go ahead and move to a game 2. Sorry, I didn't notice that we have accidentally conceded the match. So, we're going to, move on to next game. So, make sure you stay tuned for part 2.